telepathy of geometry of birth, dictated by the Divine Father Jehovah. This geometry corresponds with the same authors of the drawings on the rocks de Ica, Las Piedras de Ica, which I assume is in Peru. Mm-hmm. This geometry symbolizes the geometric origin of the earth. It represents the suns Alpha and Omega and the infinite galaxy. The authors came from the yellow planet that has now since been extinguished or is no longer existing. The authors made geometric tales with the purpose of giving people the understanding or giving people the knowledge of this information. Su paso por their journey to planet Earth. Que siendo of them being prophets, they knew what happened to the Earth. While staying there for only a short period of time, the mathematics of these creatures of the solar origin, dominated by numbers that were alive, possessed a vision of numbers, or the numeric vision. They conversed with matter, they conversed with matter on a scale of which everything that is known. So, like, they were able to communicate with all matter, no matter what type of matter it was. This remote civilization is not from the roots of the family that sprouted from Adam and Eve. They had their own origin on the yellow planet because that which is above is the same of that which is below on all these planets of the expansive universe that is thinking. Expansive thinking universe. There is and there was original roots, like families, original roots of a like lineage of family. Much of these galactic creatures, the world will see much of these galactic creatures, because they will be resurrected from the dust por el Hijo, by the Son, who is a super genius, or by the solar Christ super genius. Son of, that's what they're saying here.
That's cool.
By the Son, primogenio, like super genius, solar Christ.
Wow.
Because in virtue of freedom, albedrío. Does anyone have like a phone?
Then we can look something
Yeah,
up.
look up the word albed.
My phone's dead.
A-L-B-E-D.
What is it?
I can look on my computer.
He's on the computer right now.
Albed.
A-L-B-E-D-R-I-O. And then put in español.
A-L what?
B-E-D-R-I-O.
Bed, like bed.
Yeah.
In Spanish.
And then Rio, like R-I-O.
So albio?
Albedrio.
A-L.
Albedrio.
Okay, that's what I didn't understand.
Albedrio.
Albedrío.
Albedrio.
Albedrío.
Albedrio.
Sorry.
Just put albedrío.
Albedrio will.
What do you think it means?
Oh, it says fancy whim
Fancy whim?
or will.
Will, okay.
Fancy will?
It depends on like the context of the sentence.
Okay, here. Because in virtue of freedom, these spirits willed that the earth have its final justice or judgment day on planet Earth, and others outside of the earth. The laws of the Creator are the same that above as below. Okay, so I'm going to get back to this part about the... So basically then it goes on to say... these creatures from this yellow planet know about geometry, and they know about mathematics, and when they came to Earth they saw that they were ruled by gold and substances and just like capitalism and consumerism.
And they spent 3/4 of their energy or their attention.
3/4 of their energy por su propio sustento of their own substances or
was
like
focused around.
Oh, it's almost like saying like on themselves, like ego, like selfish,
right?
Really about
self-absorbed.
Self-absorbed, yeah, even
like narcissistic.
Okay, so los causantes de tal atraso, so the causes of such a delay in humanity, they will pay every second. The earth, for centuries, for all the centuries, that this strange rain of gold is occurring. The creatures, the Nazca, I don't know what Nazca is.
Well, they call those the Nasca.
So the creatures of Nazca, which means birth in Spanish, and of the other civilizations knew about all this because they knew about the other judgment days or judgments that the earth had, such as that of when the sun didn't shine over the planet Earth. It was the era of darkness, of relative darkness. Porque tal oscuridad. Because of such darkness, sprouted the most black, or the darkest of the dark. A lo menos negro. Empezó de lo más negro a lo menos negro. Of the most dark to the least dark. Pasando por infinitos. Passing through infinite matrices of darkness. Estas criaturas, these creatures, sabían en qué consistía. These creatures knew about what divination consisted of. Palabra viviente, living word of the Creator of all things. Sabían que todo lo salido. They knew that everything that came out of the Creator constructed. He made only one line of geometry. Okay, so okay.
That's okay. We'll just set it down here. It'll hear you. It'll just be better than what it was.
Okay. So everything that comes out of the Creator, everything that is constructed by the Creator makes up only one geometrical line. And this line goes through everything. Goes through the everything. Goes through the infinite, I guess, almost, but it says everything. Abarcaba a lo espiritual. It goes through the spiritual and the material. And they knew about this line. Venía sucediéndose de mundo en mundo. It was occurring from world to world. And of the sun.
Does it give you any other hint of what that line is? The one line from the Creator?
Well, I would take it as like everything is infinite, right? So if you think about like the infinity symbol or something, but that's not a straight line. But I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Well, it doesn't say it's a straight line. It says a single line.
It
Or
says
did it say a straight
single.
line?
No, it doesn't say straight line. It just says one single geometrical line, but a geometrical line is completely one.
A circle is a geometrical line.
You're right. So it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
It doesn't say the shape other than that, but we might find out.
Yeah.
This line goes through everything. It goes through spiritual and the material, and that they knew this line was occurring from world to world, either sol and of sun to sun, and this and of this concept was born the divine verb that took the form of human life. In other universes that are inside of the same universe, the divine verb took other infinite, como otras infinitas, it took other infinite geometrics, because if the same is above is so below, then the divine verb possesses divine freedom. Possesses the divine will for freedom, tal como los hombres, such as that man possessed, the will, free will. Oh.
That is awesome.
I was like, wait, I was like, freedom and will. How do I put these together to
Free will.
free will?
And when I think of the divine word, it's like in the beginning was the word, and the word was made flesh. But in the Aramaic, it actually says in the beginning was the thought. And so it's interesting that it's, anyway, go ahead. I can't really,
So yeah,
Frequency.
so
yeah, frequency.
so
It's frequency.
such as that the divine possessed free will, such that the humans also possess free will, and like people who have free will. Está también en el todo sobre el todo. They are also within everything that is within everything. Está también en el todo sobre el todo. Everything that is above everything. Es que todo libre. Is it free? Es que todo. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wait, let me read this in Spanish real quick. También en el todo sobre el todo es que todo libre albedrío está también compuesto en la línea solar alfa. Todo sobre, so throughout everything, I will say like ether, es que todo, is it all free will is also composed of the solar linear alpha, of the lineage of the solar alpha. Lineage of solar alpha is the place of where the earth was born. Ese lugar, it's the place en donde nació, and where microscopic chispita is like a little piece of something. I don't know what the word is in English.
Well, I think what I've gathered is microscopic particle, or like quantum particles,
Quantum
really.
particles.
Yeah.
I think is what it may refer to, which may be tied.
It's so funny because that's like almost like a little like slang word, and it's being used.
They call them cherubs in the more common
chispitas.
translations, but
You're right. Could very well be,
But they're
with
called-
particles, microscopic particles.
it
works.
explains them as the tiniest particles of existence. But beyond microscopic, I think it's quantum.
Oh, so basically the earth was born within this solar alpha lineage is where Earth was born, and also the smallest microcosm, whatever, smallest microscopic particle. The cherub or chispita, I don't know, salida de los soles alfa, that came out of the suns Alpha and Omega. Aún tiene fuego. They also has a fire within its center. The exterior part of the, we'll say for chispita, like atom or something.
Okay.
The particle.
How would you directly translate?
Chispita is just like a little small, particle. Particle, I guess. You can say it like to a bigger piece of something, like this is a chispita basura. It's just a tiny little bit of garbage. It's not like a whole lot. It's not like a garbage bag. It's just a small, tiny little bit. That's how I know the word as. It just means like small little something. Piece of matter. A small little piece of matter. So we'll say like, okay, hold on. The exterior part of this atom, avenido, is freezing, and se ha construido. It was constructed en corteza terrestre, in a terrestrial corteza. I'm not familiar with that word.
What is it?
Corteza.
Corteza. How about Daniel? Can you look up Corteza?
What is it again?
Corteza.
Corteza.
I want to say
Bark, crust, peel, cortex.
What?
It says bark, crust, peel, like rind, or cortex.
cortex, a terrestrial cortex.
Yeah, dude, that's actually
Like the outer
funny because
layer.
that's what the first thing that it was.
Interesting.
Corteza exterior.
So yeah, the external. Oh, I lost the part. These lines are so long across. Avenido, it has come freezing, and it was constructed in a terrestrial cortex. Lo sucedido, what occurred to the particle, is the same thing that happened to the seed of the plants in space. It germinated the particle. The magnetism of the atmosphere, in alliance with all of the other elements of the universe, hizo brotar a la chispita, se dice. Hizo brotar, which I don't know what that means.
What is it?
B-O-R. I'm sorry.
B-R-O.
B-R-O-T-A-R.
Rota.
It made it grow.
To sprout, to bud,
Yeah.
Cute.
grow.
To sprout.
So it made
Bud.
this particle bud. It has been said that as above is as below, whatever. It's the ley de hacer. This law of making things, what was the word? Sprout? Or germinate.
Or it says to bud, to sprout, to spring up, to string, to gush forth,
Thank
to
you.
break out, to appear.
To break out, to appear.
Es tanto. It's the
I like that.
same.
Make that to appear.
It's the same for microscopic, for everything that is microscopic, as that it is for the colossal. So much that a plant, como para el planeta, so much that a plant is the same as the whole earth, the whole planet. Mismo en su conjunto, all in the same conjunction. Las criaturas auto las criaturas autoras, the authors that are the creatures of geometry of Nazca, they knew the law of that which is above is the same of that which is below. They drew lines and drawings so that they could be interpreted from above in the era of the heavens, of the open heavens.
Interesting.
So they flew in.
The naves celestiales of celestial UFOs. Veían los signos, saw the signals and symbols made by them, the knowledge of them. La grabaron, they recorded in messages made through geometry on the rocks, because the rock survives a majority of the time.
Right.
Las inclemencias of the inclementation, or it says
Cataclysm.
the erosions
Cataclysm.
that are caused through the development of time.
Yeah.
And the most profound of them, and the most profound out of all of them even knew of who they would be interested in, for studying from them. They even knew the types of people that would be interested in studying what they had recorded on these rocks.
Cool.
I had to read that because they say it in so many words.
Yeah.
Okay. Existente, that existed in of all the people that existed in the world. It will be translated by the telepathic person within Father and Son. A traducirlas, to translate them, se irá desmoronando. That which is false will start desmorando. Todo. So all the false evidence will go away of the false history. Oh my gosh, this is this is crazy right now.
My life has changed from reading these. I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
Dude, this is crazy. Okay, so let me go back a little bit. So,
And that's what you get at more.
los y los más profundos entre ellos, the most intelligent out of all these celestial spacecraft beings, basically the aliens that they're referring to, but we won't call them aliens, celestial beings is what they are, even knew the types of people that would be interested in this type of study of their recordings in the rocks. Existente, of all the people that existed in all the world, of all the people that exist in the world, the rocks, and he's referring to the rocks, or the teachings, will be translated by the telepathic being or person within, entre padre y hijo, within father and son. In translating them, in translating them, all the false evidence of the false history will disappear.
Yes.
Surgida del extraño sistema, stripped of this strange system of living. So salido de las extrañas leyes de oro, gone from or done with the strange laws of gold.
Right.
The actual history is false because man fell in their falsehood. The most the biggest falsehood of man consists in consisted of having promised Father Jehovah that they would complete or complete a task of their divine moral, that they would like go through with their divine moral.
Nice.
In a form of life, but they didn't do this because man left la extraña
Got sidetracked.
this igualdad, because man left the strange unequalness, such an unequalness de nadie de este mundo, that no one in this world asked their Father, because nothing unequal is asked of the Father. Las desigualdad. The unequalness was materialized in this strange system of life, salido de las leyes de oro, made out of those strange laws of gold. Esto
When you think of
constituye,
unequalness, maybe people who have, people who don't have.
yeah,
the whole
all of it.
really divergent.
Well, yeah, this all makes a whole
Doesn't
lot
it?
of sense,
It sure
and
does.
it's really crazy to be reading this right
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is great.
definitely gonna read this online.
She's
Esto
doing a way better job
constituye-
than that.
This constitutes the biggest tragedy ever made by humanity.
Yes.
Porque de tan extraña, because of such a strange system of life, the human creature of every single generation conoció lo jamás, met what they should have never have met. They should have, they met what they never should have met. They met the scandal, el vicio, the vice, immorality. They met what they didn't ask for, lo que no pidió. Conoció lo que no pidió. It met what it didn't ask for, and y quien hizo, and who made, quien hizo, in de los lejanos, and that, sorry. Lo que no pidió, y quien hizo in the farther planets or worlds. Lo que no pidió en el reino, what they didn't ask for in the heavens or in the skies. No vuelve, they will not re-enter the heavens. The test of life consists of completing on a farther planet what was written in the heavens and the skies, heaven. Y que cada uno pidió, and that every single one asked for and promised to complete, sobre todas las cosas, over all things imaginable. Esto también lo sabían. This too they knew, the creatures who recorded de Ica y Nazca. So the stones, all these things that they carved, so these people knew about this, is what that was trying to say. Wow, that was so deep. I want
it's
to keep
very
reading.
much like the fact that, we made up contracts to come in here, and then we gotta fulfill the contracts before we could get out. And that's the whole thing. Is you get stuck here because you get lost in the singularity instead of the oneness. And you forget why you came. Then you're not here for the end until you remember what you're supposed to work for, or you could have all these different lives and all these different paths. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's no accident all of us are in this room.
I had a deja vu actually. I wanted to say that.
You please.
You had a deja
Straight
vu.
up deja vu. Like I'm looking at this, trying to identify this mushroom. Okay, on Evolve Ministry. Like someone asked me about it. So I know a lot about this stuff. I'm looking in my books, and I happen to find the mushroom that I think it is. And I remember in the dream that I found it, and then I looked over, and I'm in the deja vu. She's reading this. We're all here, and I was just like, "That's crazy. This is a full-on deja vu."
I'm going to turn this into a video and put it on YouTube. I mean,
Oh, definitely.
there is no accident. We're all in this room. You are doing the best translation I have heard anybody do of this. Everything I've seen written has been way more scattered because you're making it, you know what the Spanish means so well, and then you're just making it say what it really says. Very.
Right now the
Yeah.
camera's going in and out of focus. It just can't.
Alright, so let's
We know why.
This figure shows us a creature that is postured, that is posted. I don't know. So it's posture on a creature that is posing. There we go. This creature is posing. That's what it says. Okay. Su símbolo. Its symbol indicates Alpha and Omega.
Wow.
Lugar de origen del planeta Tierra. The place of origin of the planet Earth. La posición de los brazos, the position of the arms, tiene la geometría, has the geometry de un ángulo of a right 90-degree angle.
That is what's repeated all the time in the 90-degree angle. It's in all the stuff about the Ascended Masters. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. It represents the original geometry, in which, so sacred geometry, and where this the atom, we'll just say the atom for like, was the smallest universe, or the atomic universe, or solar universe. Wait. This represents the original geometry, con que, of which, la chispita, that word again. So
The smallest particle.
the smartest particle of the sun was created. De la que es, of which that is actually Earth. Toda chispa original, every original molecule of every planet, nace con la tierra. Nace con, it is born with its own geometry. There's so many geometric planets, like planets that are in the universe, in the expansive thinking universe. De como planetas hay. Oh, okay. Wait, I lost my place. Como hay planetas en el universo expansivo, pensando en the expansive thinking universe, de los que hubieran y habrán, of which that already were and will be in the future. Los brazos, the arms of the creature, have 3 parallel lines. This shows us the Trinity, the lineal Trinity, because every element knows and doesn't know.
We were just noticing the video was blurring in and out, and then Kyle went to go look at it, and then it stopped, and then the silence went off.
possesses, so every element known and unknown possesses the Trinity, because no one is desarrollado. No one isn't of the lineage desarrollado. No one isn't of heredity. Ni nomás, not even in the most microscopic form of matter. The Trinity was for them the Alpha and Omega of the Laco. La Trinidad era para ellos Alpha y Omega Alpha and Omega of the Trino galaxy. Trino. Oh, I was gonna be like, what's Trino? Trino significa tres en uno, which means 3 in 1. Trino signifies 3 in 1. El Padre, the Father, the Son, and the it's interesting how they put this, because they don't just say like the Father, the Son, and the Spirit.
Yeah, we want to know what it says.
Y el conocimiento, and the being that is known, that is called the Espíritu Santos. So, spiritual, the Holy Spirit, but it means like Saint Spirit. Cada uno, Espíritu Santo is like the Spirit of, that's what they...
In the Aramaic, my friend Michael Rice, who's been a translator, run a group of people translating the document, says that Holy Spirit was never intended to be a being. It was it was an action inside of us that clears us. But then we're also reading this in Spanish, and it was downloaded by somebody who could understand it's going to have that. So anyway, I'm just curious what they would... Huh?
Like biblical overview.
Yeah, the biblical overview.
El Padre and... That is so interesting. Cada uno, each one of them, to create their own personal knowing. Yeah, just what you... So each one of them to create their own personal
Connection.
knowing, connection with this being, the Espíritu Santo.
Right.
Se crea su propio, they create their own Holy Spirit. There you go.
Yep.
I was trying to think of what the word was in English.
I say it comes from inside. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Se crea su propio, you create your own Trinity in your knowing of this figure. Take it within yourself. Your own Trinity means that cada cual, each one, se labra su propio cielo. Each one will open up their own heaven. Each figure composed of a head, arms, and legs, enseña que, it shows us these mental ideas, or ideas within our heads, brains, tienen en su microscópico heaven.
Are they talking about the head, arms, and legs back over here?
No, every being that
every
is
being.
alive that has
yeah.
that has a head is composed of, basically has a head,
Humanoid.
arms,
Yeah.
legs. Well, all animals that have
Yeah.
anything is basically their own Trinity. They're their own God, and that they're going to open up their own heaven. They're going to create that for themselves.
Yeah, so it's creating the heaven in your reality.
Yep. Okay. Where was I? Tienen, they have in their microscopic principle, the same principle que rigió para that was born in the primitive atom, the first atom, or it says primitive atom, that of which is the earth. It indicates that those that from above are repeated below. That is to say that each time that one thinks about I can't even read that.
Each time that one thinks about.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to go into quantum thought and like waiting.
Indica que that those that are above is repeated below. That is to say that every time that one thinks about the idea, the general idea, there is born from that idea, that general idea, there is born there is formed a alpha line. It runs through in forma instantly. It runs and is formed instantly in the physical body. Y lo abandona, and it abandons in the form of a circle, Omega. These creatures knew.
So the alpha's a line and the omega's a circle, sounds like. Go ahead. Just random, maybe.
Lo que sabía. This is funny. Forma y lo que abandona, and what it abandons in the form of a circle or a circular omega. These creatures knew what the Sun, super genius, solar Christ told them.
Wow.
I am the Alpha and the Omega. Lo que quiso decir, what the Sun was trying to say of God was that there was a cosmic place called Alpha and Omega, that of which the earth was born. The lines alpha of the figure are joined to the body, to the same body. This signifies the unity in the everything, in the ether, in the all above all, basically.
The ether, yes. The connection to everything.
Yeah, in here it literally translates to the everything that is through everything. That's how they said it. But I was trying to say it in like one word in English, because no one in English says like the everything that is through the everything.
But that is really
But that's
cool.
what it says. Todo sobre el todo.
That is very good.
Significa que ni una, that signifies that not even one molecule. Okay. That not one molecule that is independent of the rest of the universe. And it signifies that that everything
not one
will
molecule is independent of the rest of the universe.
Yeah. And it signifies that everything will return to its place of origin. And that both arms have the lineage to Alpha, signifies that they exist within the Trinity, creator creadoras, creators of worlds, that are the same and at the same time not the same, because one arm is left and the other is right, and the arms have 4 lines of alpha. Wait, what does that say? Los brazos hay 4 líneas alfas. Yeah, there are 4 alpha lines. What this signifies is the figure in Revelation, conteniendo en ella, containing within her the interpretation of the Trinity. Because if the everything that is through everything contains the Trinity, the geometric the 4 geometric and the numeral 4 and the geometric 4, as in the number 4, they also possess this, the geometric 4 and the numeral 4. La interpretación, the interpretation of the 4 lines in the arms signifies that they know the Trinity. Oh, the binary Trinity. For them, the 4
The binary
represents
Trinity?
binary, like the code of the
Like
Matrix.
the binary code.
Yeah.
Rock on.
For them, 4 represents a Trinity.
What word is binary in there?
Binaria.
Right in there.
Yeah.
Back in 1960 to 1978.
Nice. Yeah. Before computers.
Before computers were general knowledge.
Que conocían las líneas alfas de la figura, enseña también. Okay, so the figure show us also de las líneas alfas de la figura, enseña también de cada nace. Oh, dang. This next sentence is deep. Hold on. I had to read it through because it didn't make much sense at first, but it's long. Okay, so for them, 4 represents a trinity of a higher calling with higher, hierarchy, with a higher hierarchy within the trinities that they knew about. The alpha lines of this figure also show us of each each person or each one, it says each one is born of the, nace la dimensión, enseña también de cada uno, shows us also that within each person there is born a dimension called destiny, and that every destiny of the Trinity, of our Trinity, makes use of space, time, and knowing of philosophy, and of the philosophy that is to be alive. The 4 represents el cuadra. The 4 cuadrado is like a rectangle, not a square, but of cuadrado. What is it like when you say like squared is 2, but when it's to the 4?
Oh yeah.
To the 4.
Squared.
To the 4th
Cubed.
power.
No, cubed. Yeah. So it's it represents cubed made into a number. What that signifies that the Trinity is in all the trinities, in all the geometric trinities, in all the geometric. Okay. It signifies that the Trinity está en todas las trinities. is within all the numeric geometric trinities. Gosh, why does it go backwards? Is within all the philosophical numerical geometric trinities created in the everything that is within through everything.
Wow.
That was really insane.
I would like to get one of my friends who's really into sacred geometry onto that. You know, kind of like they might be able to translate it.
This
the
is
next
so
level,
cool.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely is a higher mind download, wouldn't you say?
Are you listening to this,
Something
Daniel?
else. Yeah. I'm like trying to answer some of these posts
And listen at
stop
the
and
same
listen because it's like real intense, especially that last part. I was just sitting here and I just like stopped because it's like just the like frequency of it.
It is.
It's almost like I like to watch movies. Like you guys have probably noticed, I just sit there and I watch. Like I just pay attention. It's like I want to just stop everything and just like watch and listen.
I'm gonna keep going.
Pick it
I'm
all
gonna keep
up.
going.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
You could do it with all of them and then just put it out as a series.
We could.
We could.
I've got 10 here, and then there's 300 of them on 220 online. But I mean, I'd say let's do it. Whatever pace
Just
we
10,
want to do
yeah.
it.
I have to like really sit through this and translate it to make it more coherent and not so blocky. But
you
I'm
know
like
what?
translating
It's
it
good
from the
what
first
you're
time
doing,
reading
and
it.
if we just do this as a video and we're just doing it and getting it out, other people can hear it. It's awesome.
The head of the figure represents the divine mother, the divine solar mother, Omega. It represents the fecundación, the universal foundation, Alpha, fecundo, Omega. Actually, can you look up a word, Daniel?
See.
It's F as in fox.
Como, how to say it in Spanish?
I'm just gonna spell it. F as in Frank,
Yep.
E
Yep.
C
Yep.
U N D O. Fecundo.
Fecundio.
D-O. At the end.
Yep.
Yep.
Fucundo. Fucundar.
F-E-O.
Cundo. Okay. I thought you said Dio, like D-I-O. It says Fucundo, Fucunda. Fertile.
Huh.
Fertile?
Represents the fertile universe, Alpha, fertilized Omega.
That would make sense.
Because,
Fucundar is to fertilize like
Yeah.
an egg.
yep, that's it.
So,
The fertile universe, Alpha, fertilized Omega. Because if it's the same above as it is below, this would be created.
yeah, I was trying to post something, but
También se crea como se crea abajo. Okay, above what is created is also created below. What is created above is also created below. Arriba,
that's what you got.
above, creations, solar creations. Below, human creations. So, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Say that
Okay.
again.
Okay. So it says, alright. The head of the figure represents the divine solar mother, Omega. It represents the fertile universe, Alpha, fertilized Omega. Because if it is the same above as it is below, what is created above is also created below. Above, creations. Above, there are solar creations. Below, human creations. The inheritance is transmitted throughout all the universe. The circle Omega represents a return without an end. It represents an eternal transformation that will never stop ever. It represents
Wow.
an always never of a present. Whoa. Like a present moment type of thing.
And always.
Moment.
Well, no, it says it will create a always never of a present.
Wow.
Like all the tense, it's like siempre, it means like always and forever. Jamás means it like has never occurred, and of like also present moment of right now is what that says.
So all of them? Also
Yeah.
give this?
Always, never, and
the Omega Circle represents a return without an end. It represents an eternal transformation that will never end.
Beautiful.
That will never cease, ever. It represents
I don't know.
a always, never of a present moment without consideration, sin considerar, without considering others. Infinite, that doesn't sound right, but sin considerar, consider, en que otros, in that, without considering that other infinite presence ocurre cosa igual. There occurs the same thing. The eternity was for these creatures, these infinite creatures that are present, that will never be able, they will never be able to be counted in the Omega Circle.